Hi, and welcome back to Ebonroot. We are up here where we finished up the ruins build, and we have this. We have a couple transitions areas here. This one, and then this next space here, and up here, and then down by Red's Beach a little bit. We'll do so. We can start over here. Our workbench, so we can storage shed in our workbench, so we can decide what we're making and put. First, I started with putting in all these bushes. I generally like to put bushes next to and or behind trees. So put some coat down because I want to put some mushrooms here, a mushroom partition here. Got a bunch of flowers. And as you see, I've got a bunch of flowers. So I can start dropping my flowers. Since this is a mostly transition area, it's mostly just going to be flowers, bushes. There's a few rocks, little things, little fishing spot. So a lot of times with these transition areas, I do start with the bushes and the flowers and kind of try to figure out what exactly I want in between. I got this glowing moss rock because I do want to set this island at night. So I want something kind of glowy, kind of a little, I say creepy, but not creepy like Halloween. Just a little bit, you know? So that glow from that glowing moss rock should be good. I needed to switch it out because I wanted to put another flower here, and I didn't want it to be another black one. So now putting down a couple of codes, and that small area is done. So I have over here, and this is where I am going to put a small fishing area. But of course, I put in my hands first. As I pick this up, I'm going to put some code underneath just for a little visual interest underneath the log. And my first thought was that I would have it one space away from the water, but I wanted to put a flower behind it, and there's not enough room if it's one space away, so I end up pushing it back. While I was there, I plopped down the flower on the other side. A puddle coat over here too, I think. Some weeds and some wheat fields to kind of fill in the area and give that reed kind of feel. A few flowers down here at the bottom. This is a very natural area. And I do have some of these ruined pillars in and around just because I'm trying to give that idea that these areas were built up by somebody, the people who really loved the cucumber horses and eggplant cows. Yeah, just looking around, seeing how it looks, seeing if I really need another field or something, but I decided that part was done. So I'm moved up here into these little islands that I have and just placing much more wheat fields, some weed codes with flowers, wheat fields, some weed codes, and maybe a mushroom or two, that kind of idea. So that small area is done. Put some more leaf piles down. That one covered my code too much. I wanted it like right in between, just like that. And this whole side of the river's done, so I'm ready to come up this way, do these areas. Right here, because I wanted to put just a wheat field on here, so I needed to fill it in so that I could put the wheat field down. The flowers all along the back, I was using just to keep weeds and stuff from growing back there, but I do end up taking those out so you can't see them. It's a little hard once this is all decorated to be able to get up here so you'll be able to see them, but I wanted to make sure that, because they don't really match my colors. A code, flowers, a code. Yep, a little bit of wheat field. Now over here I left a little bit more room on this side so that I could, with this amount of tree, but with this amount of room, I was able to put this really great dark vine up here, which is just so pretty. This vine works so well with this. I'm going to finish up this. And then I thought I'm going to finish up these two areas over here before I get started on something else. And so throwing down a little code, letting people know that this is a space where you can come up here, put the mush light, because for a little bit to glow, because I want, even especially since it's going to be set at night, I do need things to kind of glow to give some light to the areas. Now, I wanted to put a tree right in the last little island that we need to put in. I wanted to put a tree right in the last little island that we need to put in. I wanted to put a tree right down, and I was putting things down and popped my band. Good to go. A little bit like, yeah, I couldn't get my tree in over there, so I needed to move it over. And here's my stunting. So I can have this smaller tree so you can still see the vine behind it. Tree up here, so I wanted to make sure, and there's only going to be room for one tree up here, so I wanted to make sure that I got at least one tree in. Forget it, I will just, one that was there. So I was like, forget it, I will just, one that was there. So I was like, forget it, I will just, I tried doing it that way. It was not going to work. It was because of the water terraforming. So I made the decision to change the water terraforming slightly. Put this back. And then put this down, and then knock the corner off so I could still get the wheat field the way I wanted without. So here, between this small transition area and down where Red's beach is at, I was wanting to put arch. So I start in here with the tree, arch. So I start in here with the tree. Just often trees are really the first thing. And I'm filling up this area all around the tree with some flowers with the mush partition. And this it just didn't look quite right there, and I knew I had to get a little bit of island to put a flower on that little bit of island that's left over there, and I needed it out of my way to be able to even reach it. I wanted to turn it around. Then I thought, instead, let's put it on this side. Which is not really finished over there, but that I wanted to get an idea, bridge and over down into Red's Beach. across the bridge and over down into Red's Beach. So I went along through here, putting the codes down so I would know, because I have to be able to decorate around the path for space. So I needed to know what I was going to have for space. And I was looking at it, it was path in here. And I was looking at it, I was trying to decide exactly how I was doing it. Stone path in, some more of this stone path in, some more of this stone path underneath, and put a gazebo over here. I think this one is not a gazebo. It's called it's called something else. Because for some reason I cannot remember what it's called. But anyhow, so I was putting that down so I could put that gazebo thing down there. So this is connecting my grassy path, my mossy path, over to this. There it goes. And then put that arch in front of it. That one works really well because it does have the purples that I've been using. So I think that one works really well. So here, I wanted to put a tree in, but it was not going in where I wanted. So I decided there and there. And I was thinking there, but if I put it there, there's going to be a rock in the way. So I end up having to break the rock. I was going to just leave it, but accidentally kicked off the code because that's what we do. So I was like, yeah, I think I kind of like these trees, except for I wanted to be able to put in this large pine tree instead of a regular tree. And I was just trying to determine, what was the best way to fit this in here and be able to keep it off the path because it was crowding between it and the behind it. It wasn't going to let me put a tree in there. It wasn't going to let me put a tree in there. It wasn't going to let me put a tree in there. And I did want to get a tree in. So I was adjusting my waterscaping so I'd be able to get my tree in. And here's a young bamboo that I stunted. This is one tree. It's the regular tree in that I wanted. It is a stunted tree. It's an almost grown evergreen. Some puddles. Got to put my other trees in. So here's another bamboo and stunting. And this one is just a full-size regular tree. Now this area, because I want you to be able to jump across the river, so I needed to keep it open to some extent. And the one little code also kind of denotes that there's a hopping spot there, I felt. So I'm just filling in this very natural area with flowers and codes to just help me transition from the bridge over into Red's Beach. I didn't like the yellow one. It's going to be, because once again, I want some light in here. It's going to be pretty dim, and anything that glows is going to help increase the spookiness for the area that I want. Move the other mushroom lamp up there. Looking around, determining I just wanted another bush here, and I decided to take it out and put the wheat field there instead. So I'm just going along the path, adding some wheat fields around, a little broken pillar. Lots of leaf piles, because this is a very woody, natural area, and we want this all to resemble that. And I just realized I had two of the same flower next to each other, and so I wanted to switch it out with a different one. So I stole one from over here and put the one I picked up, brought it back, put it back down, and put my tree back in. So with that, felt like I was done. I was ready to start down here on this red beach area, and I wanted to be able to get a tree in here, and I could not because this one just popped out just a little too much. So I climbed up here, moved the tree back, and took out some of this cliff so I could put a tree in right down here. And of course, it still didn't want me to. So I moved it over one spot. And then I realized if I did that, then I can get some of this cliff back in. And it took me a while deciding exactly how I was going to do it, but I finally, this is how I'm going to do the cliff there. So we're going to take these last couple flowers I had in my pockets, and then I went and got more flowers and a couple bushes, just kind of trying to fill out around this general area right here by Red's Beach. This is also still a pretty natural area, lots of flowers. I did want to make a path from the ramp over to Red's Beach. This path is not the only way to get to Red's Beach. As we'll see in a little bit, there's a hopping path. But I wanted to make it clear that this is the easiest way to get over here. So putting my flowers down. Decided instead of a flower, I wanted to get a mesh partition in here behind my tree. Just kind of peeking out, but it would not go back because of the ruined pillar and the flower that were there. So I moved the ruined pillar to the front, and the mushrooms are still kind of peeking out. But still gives the same kind of look. Wheat fields, I don't like them when they end up deciding to go right smack next to each other like that. So I was trying to get it so that I could have it staggered slightly. And by moving the mushrooms back and the pillar back, I was able to do that. So now, just for Red's Beach itself, I kind of just was going to go for a fishing theme. Somebody's coming back here to Red's Beach, and they're going to go fishing. So they've got themselves a tape deck so they can listen to music while they're fishing. And I liked the rock there, so I needed to put some kind of coat on it because I wanted it half on, half off. And it just seemed a little plain if it did not have a coat on it underneath it. And yet another wheat field. I am pretty sure in the end the lag is going to be great. Move these over just one space, and this is the little hopping path to get back to Red's Beach, which is mostly just going to end up being just some flowers because there's not a lot of room on each of these. Just the one up on the wanted to take that flower because it was the same as the one up on the cliff. So it was a lot of work getting it out, but I got it back out. So that's as far as I was going to go up this way. I wanted to finish up on the actual beach itself. Just a few flowers here and there. And that's this whole transition area from the ruins. I did decide to put down a few things here at the very beginning, right when you're coming from the museum. Yep, the only thing left to do was put some vines on the cliffs, and the leaf pile was keeping me from being able to put some on that side, so I had to move it a little bit. And I went along here anywhere I could get some vines on. For the most part I did. I wanted the extra color of them coming down. This is when I realized I'd left one spot without anything, so jumped up, popped down the flower, and put the last of my vines in here. Wanted to get one here, so I picked up my leaf file and I ended up putting it back down in the area. It was being so difficult. As I was thinking, I moved it and moved my leaf pile or my wheat field over there. This is just me checking how things are looking, putting some vines on these cliffs. I decided I really wanted to have a vine on this cliff, but I could not take that edge off, so I went ahead and left it because I go down vine here, so I put a code down, and all the jumping works, so that's all that matters. Double checking everywhere, making sure everywhere looks fine, and that I didn't miss anything, and there's no empty spots that need me to do stuff. And there you go. That's the whole area, the whole transition area. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.